Okay, Flosstube, here I am back again. Very excited about how my first video was received. Very excited about doing more. So excited about how my first video was received that I started making notes like that afternoon of what I wanted to say in my next one, and the notes just kept growing. If you see me looking away over here every once in a while, it's because I'm looking at my notes and trying to decipher them. You know, I never handwrite anything anymore. Not that my handwriting was all that good to begin with, but I never handwrite anything. Even my grocery list is on my phone, right? So, yeah, if I seem to be trying to decipher my notes, it's because I am trying to decipher my notes. Do you guys write? I don't know. So thank you for your reception. Thank you for your support. Got so many nice comments. It's so neat to see everybody reaching out and encouraging me to keep going, and that you like what I'm doing, and that you like my projects, and you're excited to see more, and I'm excited to do more. A kind of a side benefit of this was, you know, I have Facebook friends that I've never met, people that I've connected with through other friends, you know, just various ways you hook up with people. And they're people I've never met in person, but I do consider them my friends. They really enjoyed being able to see me and get to know me a little bit. Instead of just a post, they could actually see me. And so I got several nice comments from friends on Facebook that said, oh, it was so cool to actually see you. So I hope you'll continue to watch and continue to enjoy what I'm doing here. It was also neat to have people that I do know and that I am friends with, that I have met in person, but that I haven't seen in a while, to enjoy seeing me again. So that was another fun little side benefit. So in the interest of kind of getting to know me a little bit more and seeing kind of where I started as a stitcher and how I grew, as many other people do, I'm going to show you some of my old works over the course of several videos. I'm going to start with one that is my favorite, and my favorite through time, and will probably always be my favorite, and maybe it's just because it's one of my more complicated ones, or maybe it's just because I love it. Everybody knows the Amish scene from Cross Stitch and Country Crafts. That's the one I'm talking about. Now, I did this in the late 80s when it first came out. I had been getting Cross Stitch and Country Crafts magazine for a while before I moved to Maryland, and I mentioned on my first video that when I first moved to Maryland, I lived right around the corner from the Stitching Post. So I had seen the Amish scene in Cross Stitch and Country Crafts and started it almost right away. And I did it on I think the called for fabric. I don't remember, and I don't still have the pattern. And this is my first panel. I had finished it, and then I made a trip to the Stitching Post, and I saw it as a model framed on 22 count hard anger fabric, framed as one piece, and I fell in love. Now, like Caroline from Off the Grid has said, I'm like her. I love big projects. I love projects with a lot of meat to them. I like projects that I like books that are long, like Outlander, Game of Thrones. I like to really get involved with a story, and I'm the same with the cross-stitch piece. So this, you know, the Amish piece, and then having it as one piece, that was right up my alley. So this is my finished, back a little bit, my finished piece. And I think it's so fun that Heidi Cran, if you've ever seen any of her videos, she has it hanging behind her where she films hers. So I think that's kind of cool. I love watching hers and getting a glimpse of that every once in a while. So yeah, 22 count. I finished this. You can see, I don't know whether you can see, it's so small. I have my name here, Jan, and then I believe that says 1988. My eyes aren't as good as they used to be. So that's when I did that. I changed the color of the quilts here. You can see they're more reddish. There's more red in the two on the right. So you can see I changed this one to turquoise. Yes, favorite color, even back then. And I put more I guess that one's basically the same. I might have lightened it up a little bit. But anyways, made a few changes. I'm not a big orange person, so I kind of took the oranges out. So that is that one. The other one I wanted to show you is a step further ahead in my progress. I don't remember when I did this, and I actually didn't sign it or put a date on it. This is by a designer named Sue Lentz. Sue Lentz designed in the, I believe, the late 80s, early 90s. I don't know how far into the 90s she went. She is known for this type of work. Counted thread, counted canvas, lots of specialty stitches, lots of specialty threads. You can see, oh no, look, there's a stain. That's not good. You can see the variety. And again, my type of project, lots going on here. This is called the Jacobian Bell Pull. Loved, loved, love this. I have one more of hers that I've finished and framed. I'll show that probably to you in the next video. And I have several more of hers in kits that someday I will do. One is a counted canvas that's huge. Let me grab this real quick. These are the instructions for the counted canvas work. So, yeah, it'll be a while before I get to that. But Sue Lentz needlework, she's not designing anymore, and it's a real shame because her stuff is gorgeous. So that's a little bit of a glimpse into past projects. My only real finish for the past 2 weeks is this shawl. This is the Las Cruces shawl by Laura Nelkin. I showed you, I think I had one wing done in my last video. So this is the finished shawl. I told you that we do the wings first, and then we work connecting the wings, coming up the body back and forth like this. So a fun project, Tayo Lace by Noro. A silk and wool blend was the yarn that I used. I don't usually like to knit with Noro. I don't like how sticky and rough some of the Noro yarns are, but this was fun to work with. Although it did break in one place where it got really, really thin because there is a lot of thick and thin to this. So a great little piece, fun to make, fun to wear, not too long to make, so that was fun. I think that's all of my finishes. Oh, I did have some other things I wanted to show you that were finishes that aren't fully finished. So, we'll save those till later, actually, because I kind of have a plan here that I don't want to mess up. So, I will show you those later. Now, my current whips. I'm finding that I have a very structured day in which I work, because I go back and forth between knitting and stitching pretty much all day long. The current stitching whips, I've been showing this quite a bit on Instagram. This is The History of Sheep by Hardine Privé. Love, love, love this. Knitting it. You're going to have to forgive me. That's going to happen a lot. Stitching it on a 36 count linen called Parchment. I do not know the company, but this is a great linen. I know a lot of people complain about linen because it can be too soft and floppy. This is a really great, I don't know whether you can see, it's a really great crisp linen. Really, really enjoying stitching on this. I think one of the things I like so much about this pattern is all the little blocks of motifs. There's something about just having all those little finishes that I like, but also just the orderliness of it. My husband would laugh because he is always calling me a J personality. And so I think this just makes my little soul happy to see all these nice little neat sections and see them get finished. That's always fun. Now the other one that you can see, I'm trying to search to figure out where to create a new pile for my finishes. The other one I've been working on is the Modern Folk Embroidery Mystery Stitch Along. Love, 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 love. This is the January chart completed. I think I mentioned the last time this was charted to be one color, and of course I can't do just one color. So I picked 5. The fabric is a 40 count linen. I am having a bit of a problem with the 40 count. I got a magnifier, and it's one of these magnifiers that you, like, you know, put around your neck and hold on your chest. And it works whenever I can get myself and the magnifier and the light and the fabric all positioned correctly and don't move. Because when you move, this jiggles. The light is in a different place. The most annoying thing is that the light gets blocked by the frame, which, you know, is understandable. There is a little light down here on this, which may help. We don't have any AAA batteries in the house yet, so I haven't tried that yet. It works. It makes it so that I can work on the 40 count for long periods of time without eye strain, but it is a kind of a pain in the butt. One of my commenters mentioned that maybe I should she mentioned readers. I already have readers. I use readers all the time, and I use readers with this. What I'm going to do is, I think I'm going to take this piece with me to the grocery store and see if I can get readers with a higher magnification, and see if that works. So there is that. And again, Modern Folk Embroidery Mystery Stitch Along. I'm actually going to be putting this away for a bit. Well, the new pattern, the new chart will come out, I assume February 1st. I haven't touched my January chart yet for the Harbor Haven Stitch Along, so I will be picking that up now and hopefully getting through January for that. The next chart for that comes out on the 10th of February, so I hope to get January done. And then for the Harbor Haven, when I finish that, I'll pick up and do the February chart for the Modern Folk Embroidery SAL, and then kind of go back and forth, kind of staggered on those. Let's see, knitting works in progress. So you saw this one before, and I have to be careful because I have my blocking pins in it on my blocking board, and I don't feel like stabbing myself. So this is Laura Nelkin's Lace Mashup. Stand up here. This is the one. This is kind of constructed the same way as the Las Cruces shawl that I'm wearing. 2 wings, and then you do the center panel, and then you pick up along the bottom and do a border. So this is the right wing. You can see where the beads are. The pattern actually calls for noops. I think I mentioned this the last time. My thread there, my scrap yarn is in the way. I think I mentioned that the last time, and I decided not to do the noops so I can make sure I have enough yarn. So I found some size 6 beads that I think I just think they're perfect. I'm glad I'm not doing the noops. I love the beads on this. So that is Lace Mashup. I've started the left wing, and I'm working on that. And then the other, shoot, I didn't bring it in. Hold on one. So the other one, another Laura Nelkin, as I mentioned, she's doing the knit along in her groups, so in her Ravelry group, so I'm concentrating on getting Laura Nelkin patterns done. But this one is actually a new one. This is, she has a subscription club, the N Club, where she sends out, she has a yarn, usually by an indie dyer or a less well-known dyer, and a pattern and beads. So this one, this time, this is the first one for the new N Club for 2018. This is called Flosstube. The yarn is by Gauge Dye Works, formerly called Caterpillar Green. For those who might be familiar with the name Caterpillar Green, they've actually changed their name to Gauge Dye Works. They are known for dyeing yarn that stripes, a lot of socks, a lot of some shawls. This started with colors, and then as you can see from the yarn, it's going to go into more like a tonal gradient. And the beads We have beads in the middle. This stitch that Laura devised is called she's calling it the Flosaic stitch because Flosaic is the name of the shawl. And it's put on the beads are put on every other Flosaic stitch. And these beads they're a Delica, size 8 Delica beads, are probably a topaz, but they have an AB and Aurora Borealis finish. So I love the way the finish changes and picks up the color of each of the yarns. Look at the ones can you see these ones right here? They're really showing purple. Whereas down here they're showing burgundy. And up here I think it's kind of picking up, well, they're kind of purplish, but picking up some of the gold. So I'm having fun with this. This pattern she made, as you could either do a poncho or a shawl. I'm doing the shawl version. The pattern is actually, it's exclusive to her N Club until next year, until a year has gone by, so you can't actually get the pattern, but it will become available next year. So that is my knitting works in progress. And I've found kind of a nice flow. I mentioned that I go back and forth between knitting and stitching all through the day. And I found kind of a nice flow. My schedule is I work out in the morning and then come back and have breakfast and do whatever chores I need to do, take a shower. Once I've done all that, I'm free to sit down. So once I sit down, I pick up one of my stitch-alongs. I just finished like I said, the Modern Folk embroidery. I will be picking up Harbor Haven next and working on that, so that's my morning. I have lunch, and then it's nap time, because I can. So yes, I usually have a nap. After nap, I spend an hour working on lace mashup. After that, then I turn to whichever other stitching project I'm working on and work on that until dinner. And then after dinner, I'll pick up whatever other knitting I'm working on, and knit on that while we're watching TV in the evening. So it's kind of a nice flow to the day. Let's see. What do I want to talk about next? I had some other kind of off-topic things. Well, not really off, but a little bit. So I mentioned the magnifier. I wanted to find out if any of you use the petite tapestry needles. I just started getting these. I never used a petite before, and I ordered accidentally some 26s on Amazon and started using them. Like, oh my God, only petites from now on. I ordered some 28 petites. That's what these are. This is the gold petite. I put a regular size 26 in here so you can see the difference in size. I got the 28 petites to use on the 40 count linen, and they happen to be gold, and I didn't think anything of it. I don't care what color they are. I don't like the gold. I love the silver ones. The gold, this is going to sound weird, it actually squeaks as it's going through the fabric. It is so weird, and it drags. So I thought, okay, maybe there was some kind of residue from manufacturing. So I took them all out and I washed them all, gave them a good bath, dried them off, came back, and it still has this drag and this squeak as it's going through the fabric. So don't like the gold ones at all. I found a store on Etsy. I think it's called Sassy to Stitch. I'll link it below. I meant to look that up and I forgot. And I ordered a bulk, like 25, 28 count, or 25, size 28 petites. John James was the brand still. So I'm hoping that they're the silver ones, so I'm hoping that those will be okay, because didn't like those at all. The other thing I wanted to ask you about, and I'd love to hear your opinions. I've just recently started listening to audiobooks since I've started doing more stitching and knitting here on my own. And I'm finding that the reader makes all the difference. I tried to listen to, I'm getting all these from the library, so I'm not out any money, so it's not like I'm throwing money away. I got The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna, and I've read other Kristen Hanna books and I like them, so I figured I was going to like it, but I got an audiobook. And I found the reader so whiny. It made the characters appear so whiny to me. I couldn't finish it. I don't even know if I got a quarter of the way through it. I was just so disgusted with these main characters that I'm listening to another one now. Oh, it's a series. The Red Queen was the first one. The Glass Sword is the second one. I forget the name of the series. It's okay. Again, it's a female reader. I'm finding that there's times when they say things that I think, oh, that's not how that should be said. That's not the right intonation. Maybe I'm being picky. I don't know. I'm going through this one because I do like the story, and she doesn't annoy me as much as the Nightingale one. But do you guys ever find that? I'm sure you listen to a lot of audiobooks. I'd love to know your thoughts on that. All right, back to my notes. Where was I? See, I can't read that. Of course, it doesn't help that I don't have my glasses on. Oh, I said that already. Okay. I think we're to new stash. How exciting. Okay, new stash. Gosh darn you, Flosstube. You know, I wasn't going to. I was going to stop. I have enough. But gosh darn you, Flosstubers. Okay, so I am going to call out and blame. Let's see if I can get these straight because they're both named Lisa, and I just think that's too bad, too wrong, too. Mischievous Stitcher, Lisa, and Kindred Spirits, Lisa. We have a thing going here. And I don't remember who's doing what now, and I meant to check on that too, and I forgot. I know Kindred Spirit is doing this one. Hibernation Day. She showed this in one of her last videos and read the words, and OMG, it is so me. I mean, in Maryland, after living in Florida for 5 years, Hibernation City. So, this picture is really crappy. So I don't even know if I'm going to be able to. Do I have my glasses in here? I have my glasses in here. Let me see if I can read this. If you haven't seen this yet, and you like hibernating as much as I do. I love the snap of winter air and snowflakes on my face. How snowdrifts make the world disappear without a trace. I'll take a day dressed in pajamas in a room without a view. If I can spend the day curled up next to you, let's have a hibernation day, me and you. And I didn't realize this when Lisa showed it, but those it's actually lyrics from the band Jars of Clay. So I think that's pretty cool. I like Jars of Clay. I saw this and it's just so perfectly me and my husband that I had to get it. Hibernating in pajamas. It's what we do. The other one that I believe she showed, I don't think it was Mischievous Stitches. I think it was Kindred Stitcher. Sorry. Good Company. Another one that really, really spoke to me and who I am as a person. So this one says, she lives on a hill overlooking the sea with only her dogs for good company. She doesn't need less, she doesn't need more than to hear the waves crash into the shore. Yeah. Give me a beach, give me waves. Now this should say cats for good company rather than dogs. It does have little dogs in the yard here, whether you can see that. When I do this, I might need to change them to cats, although those might look kind of cat-like. I don't know. But I just thought that was so sweet. The other thing I was going to mention about this, I have a bunch of flower thread, Ginny Thompson flower thread that I got, I don't know how long ago, and I don't know where, and I don't know why. That never happens to you, does it? I know. I was going to see if I could kind of do some kind of conversion and use that for this. So we'll see. Watch this space. We'll see. The other new chart I got was a Moira Blackburn, and I think this is the Mischievous Stitches one, Lisa. I saw her posting this and starting it, I believe, on Instagram, and I think she just had this area done. Loved it. Just fell in love immediately. Little kitty. Yay, little kitty. Maybe I can change that to another cat. I have a black cat, a tuxedo, and a white cat, a color point, seal point. So that'd be kind of cool. But I just love all these motifs. Again, boxes. Notice that? Little boxes, little segments that just catch my eye and call to me. So yeah. Thanks a lot, ladies. You've enhanced my stash. The other new thing I got, and this I will blame on Amazon. Is that gorgeous or is that gorgeous? I've never done white work in my life. Lots of other specialty stitches, but never anything like this. So, I think I'm going to teach myself. They have a beginning. She goes through all the, see if I can find some of the patterns. Is that gorgeous? You know, I don't think white work ever caught my eye because it was all white, but look at that. White work with color. I mean, holy cow, people. Let me find, there's some animals in here. Is that the owl? Let's see. Oh, morning. Look at that guy. How beautiful is that? Gorgeous, right? And it looks like once you get like the main stitches down, it's just the same stitches over and over. So really, how hard can it be? You may find out how hard it is. I am thinking that the way I might do this, look at this. Let's see. I'm sorry, I'm interrupting myself because I'm looking at more eye candy. Ooh, isn't that pretty? So she has a starter flower here in the front. Let me find it. A little starter flower. Let's see what she calls it. I am thinking of taking you guys on this journey with me. My idea is that I will do a stitch with me on this, showing all the ups and downs, figuring out what fabric and what floss, because it uses like a 55 count, so I have to figure out a source for that. If anybody knows, please let me know in the comments. So yeah, just working through it and learning as I go, and you can see how it goes too. Let me know if you think you would like to see that. It might mean I'd need to get a manicure, because yeah, so many of you people that do stitch with me have such pretty manicures, and yeah, I really don't. So let me know what you think about that. The other thing I was going to talk about, okay, new starts. I have no business starting anything new, but I'm going to, because, you know, February's coming up, and what is February? February is Valentine's Day. Where am I going on Valentine's Day? I'm going to Sarasota on Valentine's Day. We get a week in Sarasota. I cannot wait. I cannot wait for the sunshine. I cannot wait for the warmth. I can't wait to see all my friends. One of the gals that I worked with down there at a Good Yarn, she watched my video and she texted me and she said, "Oh, I miss your face." So I get to see her soon. Anyway, February. I was going through my old stash, reminding myself what I had, and I came across this. Oh, how perfect is that for February? Some specialty stitches, 1/1, that should be fun. Why not, right? February. It means I'm going to have to put my sheep aside for a little bit, but it's a sacrifice I'm willing to make. So I was looking at this chart, and I looked at the back, and you can make all the ones separate if you wanted. But I'm going to do it all as one piece because, yeah, little blocks again, right? Little blocks of stuff. Perfect for me. And then I saw this. Did you see that? And I said to myself, that looks awfully familiar. I've done that. Where is it? Is it framed someplace? So I wandered around. I'm only in a 2-bedroom apartment. It can't be too many places. Didn't see it. And then I realized, oh crap, I don't think I ever finished that. There you go. Think it's time to put it in a frame, huh? Isn't that pretty? 1/1 over 1/1 over here. Specialty stitches all through it. Isn't that pretty? Time to get it in a frame. Now, what I was going to show, started to show you earlier and decided against. In addition to this little beauty being put away and not finished, I found some other, pardon for me for tooting my horn, some other gorgeous pieces that I've never framed. Now, itchy nose like Arlene. Birth sampler that I did when my older son was born. Samuel Gwynn McKinney, born June 26, 1996. I probably did this, probably not his first year, but probably within second, third year, something like that. I've never framed it. How criminal was that? This is such a gorgeous piece. Look at that, ribbon embroidery. I've never done a ribbon embroidery before. I've never done it since. How gorgeous is that? Hard anger. I've done hard anger before. Love hard anger. All the different specialty stitches, glittery stuff, ribbon. I mean, need to get it framed, right? And then there's this little beauty. Oh, this one, by the way, is Victoria's Sampler, I believe. I still have the chart. I'll have to find that. This is a Just Nan. Again, pretty little piece. I don't think I still have this chart. Maybe I do. I don't remember. Never framed. Lots of beads. Can you see the beads on that? So pretty. Different stitches. This has silks in it. Again, so pretty. I know the reason why I haven't finished this, though. In here, there is like an angel button charm type of thing that belongs in there. And I've lost it. And I know in one of my moving, packing things over the past couple years, I've seen it, but when I go to look for it, I can't find it. And I'm wondering if in this last, purge before we move, that I actually got rid of it. So I don't know what to do with that. If you guys have any suggestions, please, again, comment, let me know. Because I'd hate for that. I mean, what do I do with it? It's so pretty. So, I need ideas. Let me know. Is that everything? Oh, one more thing. All right, so again, going through my stash, refamiliarizing myself. So I'm going to start Grateful Hearts, the February one, right? And then I saw this one. A small house can hold as much love as a large one. This is by Lorrie Moore from Brown House Studio. Just Cross Stitch Magazine, April 2003. Yeah, stash old. If you watched my first video, you know what a proponent I am of downsizing, of getting rid, of decluttering. In fact, somebody asked me to do a tutorial. One of the comments wanted me to do a tutorial. I'm just like, pitch it. Just get rid of it. So when I saw this, like, again, it's us. A small house. That's all we need. Room for my yarn, room for my cross stitch. We're good. So after I finish the February one, the Hearts one, I'm going to go ahead and start this one. Oh, and one thing I was going to say about the Hearts one. So, again, as a proponent of getting rid of stuff, I would say stitching from stash, but I'm not really wedded to that. I prefer to do that as much as possible at this point, but I may or may not. It's not like I'm wedded to it. But I did find fabric, and I'm not using the called for threads at all. It calls for a bunch of weeks dye works. I'm not using the called for threads at all. I just went through my stash and found ones that seem to be close in color. And so these are what I'm going to be using for that, Grateful Hearts. And I may or may not try and find the charms. I think they probably came as a little pack at some point. I don't have them with my chart, so I must not have gotten them. Okay, that. I think that's about it. accept some more thank yous and shout outs. First, thank yous. Michelle Bendy Stitchy and Saho Dream Stitch both mentioned me in your videos, and I really, really appreciate it. It just thrills me to no end to hear you talk about me, so that's kind of cool. So thank you very much. I also wanted to just kind of give you an idea of who all I'm listening to, watching. Sometimes it's more listening if I'm trying to stitch, and you know how that goes. So Flosstubers I love. Heidi Cran, Priscilla and Chelsea, of course. Homesteaders on the home front. They're out in Guam, a mother, daughter, and other daughter, elder and younger, which I think is so cute. I love the mother-daughter thing. Priscilla and Chelsea just tickle me every single time. I told them I LOL every single time because I love the dynamic that they have. I was very close to my mother. I got my craft genes from her line, so we did a lot of that kind of thing together. I lost her in '92 to liver cancer, and so when I see the mother-daughter bonds between Priscilla and Chelsea and between Lynette and her daughters, I just hope it grows and grows for them, and that they really enjoy that for as long as they may have, which is hopefully for years and years and years. Let's see, Polly Old Dominion, she's another new Flosstuber. She welcomed me very openly, and I was very happy to it's kind of neat to have these fellow, I think somebody called them floobies, kind of all joining together, it's kind of your class moving up together, right? So, hi Polly, thank you very much for the welcome. Off the Grid, Caroline, of course, both Off the Grid Friday Night Party on Facebook and the Fiber Friends Facebook Friday Night Knit-In, too many words. I'm really enjoying both of those groups, so Caroline, thank you for creating those and hosting those and creating a new community. I think that's so cool. As I mentioned, Kindred Stitcher, Mischievous Stitcher, thank you. I have fun, I am entertained, I'm informed, and I'm enabled. What more could somebody ask for, right? Arlene Cohen, wow, your designs are amazing. You talked a bit in your video from yesterday, the day before, how you're really hoping to grow your business and you're really trying to focus on that, and I say, go girl. You know, it's important that we do what we love, and if we can make a business of it, all the better. Kansas City girl in Colorado, love what you're doing, love what you're sharing. I'm just really enjoying watching you and learning about, I love Colorado, so I just love hearing anything about that. McKenna Stitching in Sequins, Michelle Bendy Stitchy, yeah, so many of you that I watch and enjoy. So I think that is all. I'm looking at my piles, and I think I showed you everything. Have a great week. I may be back in 2 weeks. I may be back in 1 week. I certainly had enough for 1 week, but I waited till, well, I had ordered these charts that Kindred Stitcher and that Lisa encouraged me to buy. Well, they didn't encourage, but you know. So I wanted to wait until they got here, and I ordered them from Silver Needle, and they took way too long. But they are here now, so that's when I decided to film. So anyway, thank you. Thank you for your support and encouragement, and I will see you next time.